rugged on Game of Nodes.
You say something thinking it's private.
Yeah, well, that's the game, right? It's like the time's passed and it's due to start, and we're talking about something, and then someone will ask me something spicy and try to get me revved up, and then press the go button. At least there's a nice bit 3, 2, 1 on here.
I should do this. Sometimes I get like spicy details before the chat. Like crypto people are very open and they share a lot of secrets, and I think it's very risky to share them with me.
Well, I had no idea whether this was live or not. You could have been lying to me because I've never used this platform. Only the other time when I came on with you.
And the spicy shit you actually shared with me, the shady one about the Juno and all the stuff that's going on there, especially.
Oh, did I tell you a secret?
The financial stuff, the loophole where the money was draining.
Oh yeah, into my bank account. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna share it on the Twitter. I am live with Null mains, KingNodes.
It might make people
$sign Juno. Join us here. And the thumbnail.
No meetings lined up.
I should be better prepared, but I feel like like when I do a live with someone like you, it's like you don't really have to be very serious, and it's very good.
I don't know how to take that.
Like some people are very intimidating, If you go and speak with the person with like Berkeley professor or something like this, that's like you feel like at the start you feel less than this person. But you are like
nice guy. People like
you're a very nice guy, like from countryside, Australia.
Yeah.
Alcoholic.
Yeah, sometimes.
What's your favorite beer?
I try to only be an occasional alcoholic.
Yeah, what's your favorite beer?
I don't know, like crafts. I don't know. I've been drinking a lot of IPA. But
yeah, IPA.
The problem is they're starting to make me like a little bit fat. So
yeah,
when that happens, I sort of roll back onto whiskey for a bit till I get it under control.
I would imagine whiskey make you fat either. Like it has a lot of calories. Whiskey has like you should go on vodka if you want like lose weight a little bit. No calories there. Just maybe.
I can't get that Russian vodka, man. The vodka in Australia is crap.
Oh, sorry. Like I'm Polish, and you just offended whole Polish nation. 31 Polish hearts got broken. You said Russian vodka. There was the Vice documentary a few years ago about origins of vodka, and it kind of was proven it's Poland. Actually, I think Russia uses, but yeah, like it's called like Polish vodka is like the brand. No one can use it unless vodka is made in Poland, and Russia too. But like Poland is very proud and try to say vodka is from Poland. So please, like, avoid Russia. It's not a very nice word, I think. The Russia word.
Okay.
No, but
it's Polish stuff.
Yeah, like I like I used to like Stolichnaya or something like this. It's actually Russian, but it's made in Latvia, I think. But yeah, whiskey, very caloric.
I'm sure you just said you can't say Russia or you get cancelled or something.
Whatever. I don't get cancelled. I like consume my backstory on YouTube, and I'm still here. It seems I'm uncancelable. It's like, I did my first shit. Whiskey has like over 100 calories, I think, per glass. I would have to check it. Maybe with a Coke. But IPA is live. Hazy IPA or clear, filtrated or not?
No, not filtered. You gotta get that.
The nice, muddy.
Gotta get that thick shit.
Yeah, That's it. That's what I like too. You know,
Yeah,
bitter, fresh. I love it. But how many daily you down?
none at the moment.
Right, right.
I'm
Just do
three.
some push-ups. Just do some push-ups.
Nah.
Oh,
So I
okay.
used to go to the gym quite often, but I had some like injuries and COVID kind of stuffed me a lot. So I'm sort of, I guess, waiting for my health to improve before I go back to the gym. Probably doesn't help drinking beer, but yeah, like I've got the long COVID, like
All right.
yeah, so I can't, like I'm short of breath a lot of the time, and when I do that type of stuff, it's like pretty difficult. So it's much easier
Did
just to sit at my computer and type.
did you get it like early on
In January,
this year?
yeah,
Oh, so
but
like because there was the rhetoric of long COVID like very early on, but now it's like no one really consider. Like I also had it like this year, but have you got vaccinated?
I've had some vaccinations, yeah, like 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, I also had like some of them, like three of them.
I kind of gave up on them. I got COVID after I was
Yeah,
vaccinated
like
like two or three
I
times.
yeah, me too. I got after all, but for me it was like I felt the nose like hot here in the nose, and I
Yeah,
lost the like taste and smell for 2 days. That was it. All I had. So oh, you disappeared. Where did you
I
go?
had everything, man. I was just looking at something.
Okay.
I had like all of that stuff, like the hot, cold, the sweats, the headaches, um, just body ached. But I just got absolutely smashed with it, even though I'd had all of the vaccines. So I was just like, well, I'm pretty sure they're optional now over here anyway. So I just,
You must be pretty unhealthy.
hey,
You must be pretty unhealthy, maybe.
I was very healthy. I eat
How old
well,
are you? Yeah.
38.
Ooh, wow.
I'm a, I'm a good looking hamster for 38, aren't I? Okay.
Yeah, I thought you are like the same age like me, and you are older. I age not very gracefully, I think. Um, yeah, so you are experienced guy, I'd say. Yeah. You need to exercise. Try to get back, get healthy. But yeah.
Yeah, before I had COVID, like I used to run probably 3 times a week, go to the gym. Me and my partner would do a lot of like hiking and snowshoeing and
Mhm.
snowboarding and that type of stuff. It's just that since COVID, I just can't do any of that shit.
Yeah. Oh, that's a shame. Like um,
I do
yeah,
feel
like
like
I
it's like getting like it's becoming better. So we do some hiking and stuff now, just
yeah.
not so like steep and long as the ones we used to do, but I feel like it's coming better over time.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you'll get it better, I guess. Like just taking it slow. I'm quite good with habits. I was like in very shitty shape 4 years ago, and then I just decided to exercise every day, and I do it every day. Like basic one, usually. Like um
I see
I
like your pull-ups and your push-ups.
yeah, like I'm extremely strong. Like I'm the guy. Like I don't want to, be arrogant, but like these chicken arms, like I'm like, I have no muscle, but
You are
I
the Chad in the gym.
but I'm like hidden Chad. Like no, the Chads are the big ones.
Oh, you're like a
And
sleeper
and
Chad.
yeah, and then they try to do pull up, and they just like veins, and I just like it's nothing. I'm like the anime guy, who is
Maybe it's
skinny
just
and
because you are like light, like Leaf.
yeah, and they always find the excuse. Um,
I can't do pull-ups because
like
I'm fat.
yeah. So I
And
start.
and weak. Not a
So
good
I watch a
combination.
lot of, do you know David Goggins?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
4 or 5 years ago, I watched so much David Goggins, and I was like, I'm gonna make it. So I traveled to Poland, and I was like, hey, like to my friend, and I was like, we are going to do pull-ups every day from now on. We are going to do 100 pull-ups every single day. So I go to do pull-up, and I couldn't do pull-ups, so I was just jumping and doing. But since that day, I was doing this every day.
So do you still do
So,
100 pull-ups?
well, not doing really 100 pull-ups, but so for 4 weeks or 3 weeks, because of travel, I wasn't doing pull-ups and I didn't have pull-up bar. But every day when in Poland, I have the hanging board for climbing, and every day I do pull-ups. Before I start making content, it's like every morning push-up, pull-ups. So just habit. So like if in the BoJack Horseman, it's like it gets easy. You just gotta do it every day. And once you do it every day for years, it's effortless, right? So it's just about the habit. And the same, like I started making like content. It was my friend. Hey, let's do crypto content, because we had other friend who is a very big YouTuber. I was like, no, I don't feel I can break through it, no one. And he's like, no, come on, let's next 2 weeks I'm gonna make video every single day. So he was committed. I was like, okay, I'll try to make one. So now I'm like 350 videos later, and he did one. so, so, so that was the story. How the challenge is. You just gotta do it all the time. But okay, I'm wasting your precious time now, I think, on the nothing talk. You spoke to Ethan Frey recently. What did you learn?
I learned that T-grade's cool, and so is Cosmosm.
I still don't know what's the need for the T grade. But
Well, I mean the actual T-grade dApps and stuff, they're not for normal people. They're not for regular folk, really.
mhm,
They're for business and people who need to create groups that can operate within the requirements of the
yeah.
legislation and stuff in their area.
Mhm.
But no, it's more like the technology is cool.
Yeah, I get that now. Yeah.
So
So like,
on the show, he was talking about how we do upgrades on T grade, and you don't actually need to do software upgrades. You just vote for the upgrade, and then when the upgrade executes, like everything is a module, but it's a module that's a WASM contract.
mhm,
So when you do the upgrade, it actually just upgrades the contract, and then the chain continues. So
mhm.
it doesn't have failures with people not being there and that type of stuff. So it's like just upgrades without software upgrades. It's
Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah, that's really so. I assume, like, if we have like HSBC, for example, they want to use, um, they want to use blockchain, they will use T grade. They're not gonna like go and use whatever if they want to use Cosmos, right? That's
Yeah, I
that's in
mean
the
they
simple
might.
way described. Yeah, of course. Like, probably they will use Ethereum. But,
Well, I mean they could use Ethereum, or they could use I don't know, maybe they want to use XRP, or they want to use bloody, I don't know, one of the popular ones, Cardano,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Merge yesterday. Was it exciting for you?
I
Ethereum.
watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it
Um.
was pretty non-eventful. They just
I
POS
I was
activated
so
and
disappointed. It
it was
was just not. Everyone says is like a historical moment. There was nothing historical about it. Nothing.
I mean it was historical for the Ethereum blockchain, I guess.
No
But
one's gonna remember that.
yeah, I mean it's just not something that I'm massively into. Like I'm a Cosmos guy, so
Yeah.
I don't pay much mind to the other L ones.
I
Just
wonder.
not
I
in the
wonder who will be like the validator set and how is it going to look like? Because I think there will be big wars because you have the miners, right? And the miners probably accumulated a lot of Ethereum. So it will be very easy to switch for them and just use this Ethereum as the, everyone says, hey, miners are left over. But if they have like, 100,000 ETH somewhere lying there, they're like, they can simply start they nodes now and then continue earning rewards, right? So I think they are not left over, and I want to see how they change to proof of stake.
I think it's like a completely different environment to what we're used to in Cosmos. Like, I don't think it's the same kind of competition and stuff for validating. Like, there's no limit on the set, though, I don't think. I think you can just start a validator, and as long as you've got 32 ETH, you're in, and that type of stuff. So,
yeah,
you can come and go. Like, I saw people pretty much getting slashed straight away. So,
wow.
yeah, still got slashing, I guess. But, yeah, I mean,
And I
don't really
think
know.
unbonding is like ages. Well, not literal ages, but there's like months of unbonding, I think, or something like this. Not sure if that's correct, but
Yeah, I mean, I haven't researched it enough to be able to say too much about it.
There is, I feel like Juno is transforming slowly.
Juno's
Let's get.
trying to decentralize slowly. Like, one of the biggest things that the core teams want to do is include more people in the management of Juno.
Yeah.
And we're slowly getting there. And the SubDAOs are the first step to that. But, you'll see that the SubDAOs pretty much start with, they'll have some core people in it, but over time they'll disappear. And once everything's running well, and yeah, the idea is that you want the whole thing to run more or less autonomously, right? So that's the target. And they've got the funds to do it. They've got the funds to build the tools they need to make the autonomy happen. It's popular enough. There's enough people interested. There's a lot of good people in the ecosystem. There's tons of builders. So I think, there's enough interest and enough value to make it worthwhile for people to be involved with and want to have that, type of involvement. So it's good. It's good to see.
Do you feel like maybe Juno was lacking the identity? Like I now feel, and I feel like Juno is still trying to find it, right? Because
so the thing that's the main differentiator between Juno and all of the other networks, that I know of, is that there's no top-down management. It's a group of people that are trying to guide a ship, right? But they don't want to be like top-down type people. They want to help other people fall into roles where they can help guide the ship, as a collective of people. So, I mean, it's a different method of doing it. It's a different system, and it's not a written book. So it's a book that they're writing as they go along. So, it's a little bit harder of a thing to do. So, it just differs to everything else. It's not necessarily the right or the wrong way to do it. It's just a different way of doing it. And so I wouldn't say they're struggling to find their identity, but an identity is sort of strongly correlated with the top-down management structure, like the leaders, right? So when you're talking about osmosis, you're looking at Sunny and those types of characters that are built around Sunny. And he's the leader. He creates the identity for the network. And it's the same with probably most of the other ones as well. But there's not like that strong character lead in Juno, really.
Yeah, like so that's my, I feel they were like, it was lacking this and it needed. So my issue is that the Juno would announce themselves as the community driven chain, and it kind of like pretends being community driven chain, when some strong opinions come in, suddenly it has leaders, but then 2 days later the leaders come and say again, no, we community driven. Then we have leaders, then it's community driven again. It's like this jumping, or the same, like the principles that, like, it's not sure if you remember this rhetoric at the start was like, and it's probably because of the bull market that everyone was like blindfolded, because we all get blindfolded when there's bull market, and it's like, hey, we don't need centralized exchange, we are better than this. I actually, like, we can quote it, fuck centralized exchanges, right? That was the rhetoric. We are way better, we are going to do just fine. But now we find themselves, hey guys, we don't have liquidity and fiat on ramp, and it's like really massive issues. And now it's like, hey, centralized exchanges, please take us. And it's this kind of like complete lack leadership, complete chaos. That's what I feel. It's lacking identity. And maybe for Juno would be better to go on for the first year to have strong leadership. Hey, we founded it. Whether it's Dimi or Jake, um, and it's like, we founded it, we're gonna work hard for the best of Juno, and as the time goes we try to engage community more and let the community, because I think because we didn't have it, we had this complete, like, maybe lack of developers, chaos, lack of leadership, as I said, and lack of identity, which I think we are actually trying to find now, um,
So I
via
think
SubDAOs.
I think in the beginning, I don't think it was like fuck centralized exchange. I think it was just more that they weren't going to pursue it. They didn't want, and a lot of people didn't want to create like a pump and dump type situation. So I mean, the token did take off, but it didn't take off because of people, paying people to advertise it or
Hmm.
paying sexes to pump it up or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you chase down, a partnership with a sex, you have to pay for it, and well, someone has to pay for it, and you have to, like, pay for market making and all this type of stuff, right? And for a young token, it's hard to even get traction on a sex anyway. So I think that is maybe they didn't see it as being worth the investment, and that they felt they probably didn't really, not something they wanted to do in terms of pumping the token. So they never paid, like, shillers or
Hmm.
advertisers and that type of stuff. So we just try
Um,
to avoid it, really.
well, not exactly that. Like, one of the core members officially tweeted that he said "fuck off" when centralized exchanges approach him.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know if that was
there's
true, but that was
there's some
the
pretty
official
strong
say.
characters in the core team, I guess you could say.
So, and like, that's also a question, right? Because it's like, I don't know if maybe that was just show off on the Twitter, right? Maybe it was like, hey, yeah, we don't have anyone the tokens for you. But I was thinking maybe it would be wise back then to be like, look, we don't really have the funds to do, but we can do it via governance proposal to allocate the tokens to the exchange and do OTC trade.
So
That
the
would.
the um the message was always, well, whenever I talk to them, or Max or
Mhm.
anyone like that, we just said, look, if you want to list this, you can, except we're not going to be supporting joining every sex on the planet. So,
Mhm.
if it's open source, it's free for anyone to do what they want to do. You can list it if you like, but we're not looking for a partnership or anything like that at the
Yeah,
time.
but we could maybe help and accommodate the OTC trade or something like this, and see importance of being on the space. Maybe I'm on the wrong here.
Well, I mean, what's the importance of being on sex other than direct access from fiat?
From Yeah, and that's so important, isn't it?
For what purpose though?
Onboarding users,
So
like. Mhm.
the majority of users come to the Cosmos through the Atom token, right?
Mhm.
It's the same for all the networks. There's virtually none of them are on a sex.
There is a lot of users, like holding Atom on the exchange, and there is always like if you actually buy because many boomers, like people who are over 38 years old, they not very fluent maybe with the wallet, and they're like register exchange because it's safe. They're gonna keep it, but this might be like, hey, I'm buying this Juno, and then this person might move forward and read about the token, learn about Kepler, and actually move to self-custody, I think. Because this person, if there is no Juno on the exchange, it might be really difficult for them to learn more about Juno. That's my...
So at the moment, right, it's on Kraken exchange, and the volume's really low. So it doesn't even see much use being on the centralized exchange. But if you like, the only way, if you want to be on a centralized exchange, right, you have to advertise, and you have to pump your token. You have to pump the network. You have to like try and bring in users that way, right? So it's not just a one or the other. They both go hand in hand. And if you look at the beginning in Juno, it didn't have anything to advertise. It was a smart contracts network, but it didn't have any products. Like that all takes time to build, and Ethereum wasn't a mega powerhouse overnight either. It's like so. I mean, I'm not directly comparing Juno and Ethereum, but in the infancy, I don't know what their thinking was, but I can't see the point in pumping the shit out of it when you don't have a product, and then just onboarding all these users and mooning the token, and then then they all crash and it runs away, and everyone's left with a sour taste in their mouth, and they don't come back.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I agree. I my opinions. Fully agree with you. I mean, that was an opinion. It's rather the questions, like, oh, is this one right? But do people still love to compare Juno to Ethereum? These posts are quite funny. You probably see it on Twitter quite often. Show the price of Juno with market cap of Ethereum. It's like, seriously, man? Are you like, that's like, this is like global. You comparing global thing to few Twitter users, essentially.
Yeah, like I would settle for the market cap of a popular AMM on Ethereum.
Yeah. So there's a bit of the stretch in the rhetoric, but the other question that is like, so shit. So with the Genesis, right? Like you said, we didn't have anyone to shield. With the Genesis, like there was this mistake on the Genesis, which is the whale, right? Let's throw it out.
Yeah, look, I don't have any comments for all the whale stuff. It's
but it's also like, actually Juno was very well shielded by the core members. So exactly at $40, it was shielded as the like great success, going up. While a week later, it was said that there is great danger because of the Genesis mistake. It's like, why week before you shield the Juno, knowing that there is great danger? Like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, are you losing your mind or what? Right? And some people doesn't like I say it, but
I think we can all agree that like that part of Juno it was never handled very well, and it's a bit of a stain on the on the whole community. So
I guess
there's nothing I can say that's going to make it sound any better or worse. So it's probably just best for me to avoid it.
Just interesting. I don't feel sad part. This subject probably will never go off, but also you feel bad every time you mention the subject. You're a huge fan. Soy is here.
Yeah, Soy too. Hey man. Yeah. I feel like he's Australian, but he must be in Asia somewhere. I've asked before, I think.
Can I say he's British? I think he's in UK.
But why is he always awake at this time?
Just addicted to crypto, man. Like sitting on the Twitter all day, on Telegram, exchanging messages, reading, swiping. Like that's so bad for you, And before he was better. I think recently he's losing sleep over crypto. But
Don't
maybe
lose
he
sleep.
can.
Don't lose sleep, Soy. Don't lose it.
Yeah.
You'll look like me.
Insomnia issues. I know some solutions. I know some great solutions for insomnia.
People contact me after our streams, man, and they're like, "Null, you look so tired. What are those
No,
bags
like
under your eyes?"
no man. After I learned you're like 38, beautiful
Makes
man.
sense.
Yeah, yeah. That's no
Old and busted.
handsome, healthy. Some. But back to Juno and identity. I feel Juno now try to find identity with the SubDAOs. Let's go first. SubDAO, the first big one, Terra Developer Fund. Have you spoke about it? And
So,
what you think of the efforts? Was it success? Was it not success?
to be honest,
Average? Hmm.
well, I mean, I have honestly, I haven't had too much to do with it. Like, I do my own things within Juno. Like, I've got things that I work on in there, and I don't necessarily know what's going on with all the other moving parts.
Hmm.
So, that was a, a fund that was, mostly all the devs were talked through with, like, Kevin and
Hmm.
those types of people. So I really didn't have too much to do with it, and I still don't know. Like, I haven't gone and looked at all of the projects that came out of it, so
Hmm.
don't know how much they were paid, don't know how good a job they did, because it's just like outside of my scope of things that I'm working on. So
Yeah. Um, but there was one more. So it's gonna to be transformed, right? So it's going to be transformed into
I think
growth
it's turning into the growth fund, right? The
growth
the
fund.
Terra
Growth
Developer
fund.
Fund.
What do you think of it? Like, I actually so I tell you like my take first. Like I spoke to someone and someone said it doesn't really matter if you create subDAOs or not. Someone mentioned that Vitalik spoke about this, that for the growth of the network, it absolutely does not have no effect. Whether you do create subDAOs or stuff or not, the growth will be exactly like more likely the same. But I don't know. I wonder it's maybe good idea. What do you think like of the growth fund?
So I think that it can't hurt. So if we we obviously want people to come to Juno, right? There's a lot of options.
Hmm.
So when you enter the Cosmos ecosystems, you've got plenty of smart contracts platforms to build on, right? And you're looking where you want to go. And what we want to do is, provide a bit of a launch pad for
Hmm.
people who want to come in and build. So instead of being on their own, they might be able to apply for a little bit of funding and help pay for their people, to get their, a little bit of startup capital. I mean, Terra did the same thing, and Terra is massive, and they like seeded lots of projects. TFM,
Hmm.
Loop, all of those guys came from um, grants from Terra. So
Yeah.
I mean, there's not just one way to do things. Maybe he's saying that, maybe if Vitalik's saying that, we're already sort of more or less established. There's only one option in the Ethereum shop, probably, when he was saying it.
Yeah.
And so what are they going to do? Develop elsewhere? No, they're going to grow, because he's saying people are wanting to build projects, and there's only one place to do it in his mind, and that's Ethereum. So
Hmm.
in that sense, you know, the SubDAO or DAOs probably that are specifically for onboarding developers and growing developers might not make sense to them. But I think when you're in a ecosystem where you're spoiled for choice, uh, you need some sort of honey on your trap to bring the
Hmm.
developers over to your network.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, like if Vitalik said, someone said that there was Vitalik writing and in the book he mentioned SubDAOs, but I can't confirm it. It was from the conversation with some person. So it doesn't matter how I address it. Again, I guess just like it's about the impact of the SubDAOs. But there is problem with Terra projects, right? Because saying that Terra projects or like grew because of the funding from the Terra, because it was massive. Yeah, Terra grew massive on like the fake rhetoric of being like shield everywhere and having the certain Ponzinomics, and ended up having a lot of money and start throwing money at the people, right? So and it
Yeah,
the and
but one,
doesn't
like
mean they
you
did the
can't
due
deny that they
diligence
had,
there. Yeah.
but you can't deny that they had a lot of good projects and a lot of users, right? And that would have come through funding development as well as advertising and shilling the chain. So
What are the best projects on Terra?
I'm not a massive Terra user, but I hear that there's a lot of good projects in Terra.
Yeah, you
So
hear. Okay, that's I
yeah, well, I
hear
mean
too.
they had a lot
But
of they had AMMs and various trading things, but they also had a lot of NFT stuff and
yeah,
um,
but have you so this is the like hearing a lot of great projects. Like here is the thing. All the innovative projects were developed on Ethereum, like Uniswap as the first DEX on Ethereum. The things that come on other networks, and that includes Terra, were copies of Ethereum platform. Often, this was project that migrated from other networks. Um, Terra NFTs, I heard many opinions were not really like you actually like Terra NFTs never got trending. Like only NFTs that ended up being important are the ones on Ethereum only. Solana, and do you have something that break out? Like Terra never broke out to the mainstream with the NFTs. The Terra NFTs was Terra. The Terra apps were Terra. Like it's
but
so
what's the
yeah,
mainstream?
like
Like, what's the mainstream? Is that I mean,
so somewhere where user like
but
you can use I consider MetaMask break into the mainstream because that's people know how to use MetaMask, connect to OpenSea, and get this trend in NFTs. The Terra NFTs, like we can ask people like were there any
I mean,
NFTs that
I
really
mean, you
broke
talk.
out?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Ethereum's the biggest network, right? It's got the most users, but just just because of that doesn't mean that there can't be popularity among the same thing in other networks, right? So
Hmm.
when you say the mainstream, what you mean is Ethereum, but it's not an Ethereum chain. It never would be. It's not an EVM
Hmm.
chain. It doesn't have EVM compatibility, so it can't break out into the mainstream.
Hmm.
I mean, the only
But
way it can become available would be on a mainstream platform like OpenSea, would be for them
mhm.
to connect to it through Kepler and change their platform to accommodate it, right? So,
Yeah, but
I mean, breaking out
mhm.
into the mainstream in this sense is like them becoming available on Ethereum.
Well, not because there is always the rhetoric. Oh, Terra had so many great apps, but once you ask someone like, "What's the great app on Terra?" people will be like,
Well, the
that's
great
every
app on
single
Terra
time.
was
Every
Anchor.
single time, it's the same thing. Anchor, like that's they had Anchor. Anchor was only one app that really was, you know, was like hyped, and it was Ponzi.
I'm sure. I'm
Uh,
sure if you asked someone who was like, deep in the ecosystem, they would be able to tell you. But and you
I
probably
can
have an
tell you,
answer right
for
person.
example, like averaging the Terra NFTs were absolute shit. Like absolute shit. They had like some TerraPunks. TerraPunks, I think, was like the largest NFT on Terra, and essentially, like the Stargaze punks were kind of copy of TerraPunks. Um, but
Wow,
they didn't. Yeah, like
they're
I
all just
mean,
copies of punks, right? So
yeah. So
yeah.
if I mean, if someone is there with different opinion, I mean, why like Kado, like we have some of these apps, but are these like the greatest apps ever? Like Terra didn't really have apps. Like Terra, like was there was something built there, and money was thrown left and right, but
Were you a big Terra user?
no.
Were you exploring the ecosystem? Were you there every day in Discord and that type of stuff? I mean, I'm telling you, if you ask someone from Terra, you'll probably get a much better answer. Someone who was in the ecosystem living it.
Yeah, like I'm friend with lunatics, and both of them lost a lot of money. So
I didn't say
the
they'd be
rhetoric
happy, but they'd
was,
probably be able to tell you the good apps that were there.
no, they were telling me, forget Juno, forget Cosmos. It's only Terra that matters. It is genius. Do Kwon is a genius. That was it. You don't understand. We need decentralized money. Is it the genius concept? That was all the rhetoric there. Like, this is working genius, man. The mechanics. We go up, price go up, mint burn. This is perfect system. That was all you have to do is buy Terra. In the bear market, you buy Anchor 20% AP, APY.
Ironically,
Forget.
had it grown like a lot slower, it might have survived. But yeah, I don't
So
know.
there wasn't really like rhetoric of innovation being driven. It was like the APY. Like, the friend even was like, you don't you don't buy the house. You take money, put into Anchor 20% API, rent it. That was the rhetoric of Terra. Like,
You,
it's
you know,
let.
you know, I barely knew about Terra until it joined IBC and brought across UST, right? And I actually thought, I thought when UST joined the IBC gang, air quotes, that it would actually crash a lot of coins because people would have
Mhm.
like an exit coin, right, into like a stable.
Yeah.
Which I didn't really track whether it did or not have an effect. But anyway, that was like the first I was actually aware of Terra anyway through UST, because I don't follow like all the major chains in the top 100 or
Mhm.
whatever in CoinGecko. I only really look at what I'm interested in because there's not 1,000,000,000 hours in the day. But
Yeah.
I did use Anchor, but I was super sketchy on it because it didn't make a lot of sense to me that you could have a stable coin and be able to have a return on it at all. So
Yeah. Um.
I did use it, but I
So
was constantly like bringing my
mhm.
money back out of it.
I was using UST, and UST was great in like bringing a lot of liquidity. But I remember the moment it like broke peg. I think I was messaging to Jacob in Mexico. It broke to like 92 cents and something, and I was like messaging Jacob, "Oops, I'm on the way. Cannot sell it because I wanted to sell it right away. Like, I thought it's just gonna go down," and everyone was like, "It's going back. It's going back." Like, but you already saw it's like there is some issues, so you shouldn't. But yeah, it was great because it brought actually like Osmosis got trending probably before, maybe because of UST, right? Like, it has insane volume. But the reality is it was just Ponzi, and we got hooked up on Ponzi. And I don't think there should be looked into like there is something more. There is nothing more to it, you know.
Fair enough.
And yeah, I'm trying to search for the look. I'm trying to search for January 28. So it was still before Terra broke, probably peak of Terra. Um, Great trending. Look at these amazing NFTs they had. Oh, look, if you invested 1,000 US 1 year ago in January 2021, you would make 130,000 US now in January 2022. And here's look, they had Galactic Pant, they had Luna Bulls, had Terra Whales.
What are your thoughts on NFTs in general?
Still uncertain. I wonder if it can go like somewhere further than the pictures, right? So as of now, like I would think there is very high probability it will all go to zero, because like at the end of the day it is still just a JPEG. But you can use them like in, as the membership to the club. I don't want to go like deep into this because there are better people,
Do you have any
to,
NFTs?
Mhm.
Which ones do you have?
So I have like 100 bad kids on Stargaze.
You have 100 bad kids.
Mhm.
Why do you have 100 bad kids?
So
That's a story in itself.
I when the Stargaze Genesis launched, um, I looked at this and I thought, well, this is a joke. This is such a shitty NFT. I think it's just a rug. But then I looked again and I was like, hey, this actually looks so cool. The website looks so cool. So I minted like one, two, three. And one day later, I was like, this is so amazing. So I minted 20 on one wallet, went on another wallet, minted 20. I didn't have money. I sold like one neta to Stargaze, minted another 20. So I minted 60. And I also managed some wallets for my friend who didn't want to be in Juno because he didn't know how to stake it and use it. So he said, oh, it's amazing, mint for me. I minted 40 bad kits for him. And then he gave them away to me uh, as the wedding gift. So I ended up with 100 bad kits. Then when the marketplace started, I bought more. I have 110, I think, now. But I'm like sometimes selling, buying. So that's how I ended up with over like 100 bad kits. I just like them. I like the art. So
here's the thing, right? Like, I don't, I think there's a lot of bad NFT art. I think there's some cool ones, right? But for me, it's probably, I just buy the ones that I like the look of if they're not super expensive, right? Because why not? I just like to support people in the ecosystem. I mean, I don't think they're ever going to make me any money, but I do like to support people, and I like the bad kids. I think they're cool as well. So, you know, that's the thing about NFTs, right? I mean, I don't think I'd ever be paying $1 million for an NFT, but I do like to just buy them at the mint and stuff them in my wallet and probably
yeah,
never look at them again.
this is good point, because when you look at the apes that were like 300K, at the end of the day, this is just the JPEG. I don't even think they have like really huge. I mean, they plan to develop something into metaverse, and they were trending because they're used in the by Snoop Dogg and Eminem in the shows, in the videos. So that's what hyped up like as the exclusive club to maybe owns it. But at the end of the day, it's just a JPEG, and I think Bad Kids made it clear that just the art. So you buy it because of the art, and I think this art is quite amazing. Also, when you look at the Bad Kids, the certain threads that were generated like are very playful. So the backpack is not included in the metadata. If you get the backpack kit, it's not included. So um, or you have some other like quite tricky and cultural threads like page from Great Gatsby book and stuff like. So I think it's quite playful as the art playing with the culture right now and with the culture NFT. It's still of course it's not in the mainstream, it's very slow, but like it develops as the sort of like cosmos ecosystem, um, fun art for like PFPs, and I don't think there is anything more to look into them. I spoke to the Stride guys, and they say, for example, everyone who joined the team is rewarded with BatKit. So maybe it's like, hey, it will be exclusive club for Cosmos builders in the future, for Cosmos community, but you can also create some stuff with it. So I know Cortland, who is artist, he give you full rights. So if you have bad kids, you can use it and maybe create your own merch and your own brand out of this art. So this is like very basic utility, right? But I have friend who's quite like successful on like, and he has his own NFT, which was like quite expensive, and it simply serves as the key to the group, right? So there was the NFT that was the key, He used this funding to fund the DAO later, and now he created the brand that is like called Bloom. I don't think he would be mad now, like if I now disclosing this all, because we so this is his brand he created with the NFT. And for each key holder, there will be the airdrop of the PFP, but it will be also attached more to the, like, they plan to do more of the lifestyle and merge brand with this, right? So the people involved, maybe they can somehow benefit from that. So you can use the NFTs as the membership to something. I don't want to look too deep into this, but that's how you can use them. And this membership can be passed from person to person. Lost your audio?
That was the whole point of the like the apes, right? The Bored Ape Club was from membership to the actual club. Is that right?
I don't think board. No, that, well, you can see them as the club. Holders of the NFT are essentially the club. What I really like, so, like, I really don't know where it goes, because I think even Daniel Huang, he say about the NFTs, like in relation to carbon credits, that it can be used as the one-of-one NFTs, and it can be passed from person to person, right? Because NFT is like your very unique token that is, not like KingNodes that are the same tokens, but this is unique and serving only one purpose. So I guess it could be used somehow in management of carbon credits for your own field wherever you exist. But yeah, I don't think bored apes were like the purpose of the club. I But I do like it, because sometimes when you look at the NFT, so there was this controversy that bored apes are Nazi, right? And there was whole series done about them, that it's required deep knowledge of the 4chan and stuff like this. And from my side, I hope this is true, because then, if not this, these are just monkeys. But if this is the true, it makes bored apes to be the early internet culture of 4chan and 2021, which like adds this very weird taste to it, like Pepe, Nazis, 4chan, and stuff like this. There is the NFT that is called Milady, for example, where the founders were accused of like grooming children. It was just accusation, right? And it nearly destroyed the NFT, but then it came back and become popular. So sometimes when you have NFT and there is some controversy behind the NFT, it actually maybe adds the value of NFT, because it can be the art. But yeah, like when it comes to utility, I think there is still time to find out. But as of now, most of the NFTs are just JPEGs, worthless JPEGs that will go down to zero.
Well, yeah. So I see what you're saying, but there is like so much development on NFTs at the moment, and they are probably some of the better technology that's come out of blockchain. Is single identifiable, transferable, or non-transferable if you want them to be, but a unique token, and I think they're gonna do a lot of things with it, and they're gonna have a huge place in society at some point. But yeah, at the moment, most of them are just JPEGs.
Yeah, so like how you could use that, because Soy was saying about about, imagine you would have like, I don't know, 1,000 unique JPEGs, and that you would draw yourself, and you are like, hey, we are going to launch on Stargaze. Each of them gonna cost $100, because I'm going to build the DAO and I want to use this money as the treasury and investment, right? So you can maybe play with NFTs this way. And as I said, you can use them as the access to the DAO and to actual contribution, I guess.
Did you say you can already do that? I'm not aware of that yet.
Not now, but they work on the integration. Like you could do it manually, so you can drop the NFT via Stargaze, raise the money, move it to DAO, right? Easy. So I feel like I would like to play with something like this, or maybe you could create the DAO with the community and be like, hey, I want you to encourage you guys to drop your own projects, your own NFTs, your own like emotional expression, and each of these members of DAO will commit 50% of proceeds from the NFT drop to our DAO treasury, and we will grow as this creative organization that also have the deep funding. I'm just thinking,
You should do it, Don.
Planning. I just don't want it to be cheap. I want to, make something maybe nice. Like I had some ideas, like I'm creative guy, but imagine like maybe selling the postcards of your like embarrassing stuff from your life. You express yourself and share this as the NFT, and someone buying your embarrassing story, but it's all on chain. Everyone can access this, and then you encourage the community to like put this like stories of their life, of the whether it's painful, of like being bullied or something, and just let everyone play with it and see whatever happens. Don't know if it makes sense. I'm hopefully it does.
Yeah, I mean,
I see you are not into NFTs.
like I said, I own them, but I like go shopping. I go NFT shopping, but I'm not a
Yeah,
deep philosophical NFT guy. I do, like I said, I do think they're going to have a big place in society, but there's a lot of
yeah,
development to
yeah,
do there.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, a
and
few,
stuff.
few of them on Ethereum, especially my friends, right? So this one is like I have collection one probably, like this NFTs I hold, they're worth like half ETH, so 700. Yeah, so these are my most worth, and then of course bad kits, but mainly bad kits. I barely have anything else. I'm like very specific. I don't buy anything. I buy what I like. So, um, but we away from the um SubDAO, but I wanted like if you have the SubDAO, like the growth fund, who you should encourage as the so who should be member of the SubDAO to do good due diligence, and how the funds should be spent. Should be this the should the funds be spent on migrating apps, or should be funds to be spent on very small individuals who build the applications?
I don't think that a SubDAO should be told how to do it,
Mhm.
and I don't think that they should be limited in their scope of just giving it to big people or little people or groups or trying to poach other projects. I mean, in my opinion, I don't think that poaching a project from another uh, network is the best way to go about acquiring developers, because
Mhm.
then you're sort of getting someone who can be bought, right? So what's to stop the next person coming along and doing the same thing for another network with more money? So I think I would just like to see good proposals put forward to the growth fund and then assess it, the value of that project to the ecosystem. If it's worth
Mhm.
it, give it a go. But I wouldn't like to see just entire funding being put out to projects. Like I'd like to see milestones and milestones be hit,
Yeah.
and then additional funding and that type of stuff. So I think it should be done right, and I think that you're entrusting the people of the SubDAO to do that work. So who do I think should be in it? I think
Mhm.
there should be a mix of people. I think there should be people who are good at reaching out to developers and good at marketing. So I think they should be attending, you know, conferences and stuff like that for other
Mhm.
networks, or just being visible and encouraging people who want to get into crypto development to come up with an idea and submit their project to get assessed. So, yeah, I guess the short story of this is that I don't think we should be telling them how to do it. I think we should be finding the right people so that they can determine how to do it in the best possible way.
Yeah. And my follow-up question, sorry, I'm just connecting the chargers to not die. Because I made the tweet that actually DAOs cannot compete with the companies, and many people like even Jake Hartnell actually did the tweet at me. That was a little bit offensive, I must admit. That I don't know shit, I guess. But I said that DAOs fall short when it comes to the fiduciary duty done by the companies, right? So my problem with DAOs is that, like, you get a bunch of people, you get no legal implications of your action, right? And you are like in charge of $10 million, and you're like, just spend it, man. Like, and you are like, hey, should we buy this JPEG for $1 million? It seems everyone talks about this, and it goes to $10 million, and the DAO is like, LFG, GMI, let's do it, right?
Well,
But if you have registered companies, sorry, like,
I think what
if
you're
you have
talking about
registered,
is the definition of a bad actor, right? So hopefully you've got enough people in your DAO that one bad apple can't sour the apple cart. So I think you'll find
it's
that
not about,
the kinds of people who are in DAOs and want to be involved in DAOs are the kinds of people who want the the projects to succeed and the chain to succeed. So
it.
and
Mhm.
it's not a process of just people all of a sudden becoming in them. Like to it's almost like you have to have someone to vouch for you to be in a DAO in the first place, right? And if you see a DAO with trusted people from the community and people involved with the project, and then you can turn over new people into that DAO, I think you've got a pretty good chance of getting like a good actors in your DAO. Like, because what you're talking about is people stealing the money DAO, right? The DAO money.
Not really. So what I'm saying, these are people who might not necessarily, so they manage the funds for the group. In this case, it would be Juno members, right? Members of the Juno DAO, and you trust the SubDAO with management of these funds. In case if you are a legal company, you need to make sure that your investment is more likely net positive for the investors. And with that, the company do the research. They do the research on the NFTs because they got offered to invest into this monkey picture. Hey, we do believe that that might not turn as the great investment. While the mindset of the DAO could be like, let's fucking go. It's going 100x. Let's throw million here, million there, million here, and we're out of money. And when you
Yeah, so
look
you're talking
at
about
the DAOs,
accountability for the actions of the DAO.
yes, there is none. And also there is no duty done via by the DAO members to make sure that the investment they do is the good investment and net positive for the community. I have not seen it yet, and maybe show me the DAO that actually did that, because now, like, I can ask you what DAO did great, and it will be again, right?
Yeah,
So,
sorry, mate,
um,
you're breaking up a little bit. Can you just say that last bit
yeah,
again?
like,
You're breaking up on me.
so if I would ask you which DAO great, and it's example to show that they were like great, they did the great investments, you would be like, I don't know. But when you ask which venture capitalist did great, plenty, you know?
Yeah, but also there's a lot of venture capitalists and they've been at it for a long time. There's not so many DAOs that are doing investment for development. So it's kind of new. It's not proven. It's not tested.
Yeah.
So
Fair
they're kind
point.
of hard
Fair
to
point.
compare the two. And I think
Yeah.
I think you're assuming that people, won't do those types of things, whereas I like to think that they would.
So. Mhm.
If and that's up to the community too. Like these SubDAOs are seeded by the community pool, um, and if they're not happy with how they're run, they should use the governance to change it.
Mhm.
So
Mhm. I I give you example. So I think it's Pleaser DAO. Uh, so the Pleaser DAO did. So there was the guy. He owned the Wu-Tang Clan album, and when he went to prison, he went for the auction. So the Pleaser DAO thought it's a great idea to buy the album. Yet they were stupid enough to ensure that they will get the rights to the songs. Essentially they bought the box, but they didn't buy the rights to the songs, and the songs are in hands of few people now. You see the problem with DAOs, they just don't really think. When you would have company, they would be like, hey, make sure we do it right.
yeah, but I don't
I
think you
see.
can point to a couple of examples and say that DAOs won't work. I think they're each their own thing, right? And there's plenty of VCs
Hmm.
that would fail and not work. There's plenty of projects that are just go to shit. They're entirely high
Hmm.
risk in VC anyway. So, that's part of VCing is that you take a risk on things. You buy
Hmm.
20, um, like you buy an interest in 20 projects and hope that one or two of them come good
Yeah.
to cover your losses, right? So
Yeah.
I don't think they're doing incredible due diligence anyway. Um,
Yeah.
but the success of a DAO will be the constituents of the DAO. Like
Hmm.
if you're instantiating a DAO with people that are motivated and trusted to do the work that's required, then you'll get a good result. If you just put fucking people that stick their hand up and say, "Yeah, I can do it," and then that's it, then you might not get the same result. Like,
Yeah.
um, and if you get
Yeah.
people in there that aren't working out, other people in the DAO can vote them out. Well, it's
Hmm.
it's a multi-sig. We call them DAOs, but they're just multi-sigs that control
Hmm.
the money
Yeah.
and make proposals, right? So
That's a very good point, and that's like what I expected. I wish like if we have sub DAOs on Juno, and those, if there will be like the DAOs that meant to invest. I hope these DAOs will be wise enough to realize that investing in the project and value with this investment, valuing this project at 100 millions might be not really great investment. I think that's the
well,
important part.
I hope that the users of the network maintain an interest in it and call people out when they make shitty decisions,
Yeah.
because then you've got accountability.
And I hope you are not going to be cancelled for calling this out, because that's what quite often happens.
People already
So,
dislike me for a lot of shit.
well, not you're not the first one, not the last one I get. But I think you are quite loved, right? Like we could ask Soy. I think the KingNodes is like really loved.
I think Soy's
Um,
hung shit on me plenty of times on Twitter. I'm sure of it. Maybe he's changed.
I think they'd say that,
I think you have as
and
well.
I think, did I? Like, no, it was actually like I remember you have this Joseph, right? The other guy.
Yeah,
Who's
Joe.
Joseph?
Yeah.
And I did some tweets, and Joe like tweeted at me like the vomiting emoji, that like my tweet was disgusting or stupid joke. So I just want to say I never really shit at you on Twitter. I was only nice, being friendly
You know,
and polite. But your partner, whoever,
I can't control what he does.
didn't approve my, yeah.
So, I mean, I don't. People who say shit to me on Twitter, like, it doesn't bother me too much. It's a free and open forum, and people can have their opinions. So, some people are going to like you, some people are going to hate you. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
I like to try and make good decisions for KingNodes. I'd like to try not to shield crap, and just hope that eventually, people will come on board. But it's hard to keep people captivated with your brand. So
Yeah.
you know it's
Well,
it's hard in that respect. It's very hard to build a delegated community, and it's hard to keep
yeah,
them.
yeah.
And it's hard
I
to
mean,
keep them
like,
all happy as well.
yeah, you're surely not good enough to get like 600,000 of Evmos delegated to you from the
No, I don't know.
Evmos team.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what went on with the delegations there, but I mean, not just myself, but there's a lot of people who have been around since early in the testnet days that were just overlooked, which is disappointing to see. It'd be great if they like published a criteria that you could apply to or something like that before they did it. I mean, they said that they were going to do the delegations and they mentioned things that were favorable, but it doesn't appear as though they've assessed the val set against that criteria. But I mean, it's their network, it's their foundation. Ultimately, they can do whatever the fuck they want. So
Yeah, mhm.
yeah,
I wonder if they sent someone like really high, like someone who was slow. But yeah, like if you get this amount of delegation, you are going to make really good money as the validator on Evmos,
yeah, for
right?
sure. So at the moment, I guess I don't know that 666,000 that they delegated could be something like, you know, $400 or $500 a day. So
Yeah,
it's pretty good money. They pulled at least one validator out of the inactive set, which I thought was strange. But you know, a lot of my friends got delegations, and we didn't. But
yeah,
you know, hopefully they rebalance it and rethink the way they did things. But to be honest, like we shouldn't be getting a delegation of 666,000 in comparison to some other people anyway. So you know, but I do hope that they revisit it and look at the efforts of people, whether they're providing everything that's in the list or whether they're providing some of it, or whether in the past they've put in, you know, time and resources. So, but yeah, you know, they did what they did, and I just hope they do revisit it at some point.
they still have 50 million Evmos available, so it might be like just in the process of the deletions.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think they should do it slow. Yeah, I don't think they just should throw this amount, but do it slower. Like maybe 100K delegations a day. Like just try to balance it out and not because by doing this they can easily follow someone from the active set. Like just you want to be careful with that stuff, right?
Maybe whoever was doing it just got sore fingers on their ledger. Decided to have a break for a day or something.
And with that, you are actually you might end up being on the SubDAO that will be on the similar position as the Evmos guy, right? That will be in charge of the delegations. So
yeah, like
there is
one of a panel, I suppose.
Yeah, there.
So it's a little bit tricky for a delegation DAO because obviously I'm a validator as well. So I'm sort of waiting for people to raise that issue. But whilst I am a validator, I'm also part of Core 2, and I've got a pretty big interest in making sure of the success of the network.
Yeah.
And I just know people will raise that point. I think there's two of us validators on there, but we tried to make sure that the validators were a low number. And like I said before, when you're selecting members of a DAO, you want people with broad experience, right? So if you're assessing validators and contributions from validators, the people best suited to be able to do that work and have input in that is validators. So I don't think you're going to get people interested enough who are validators on another network to come in and then do all that work for you. So I think it's important to have a couple. I trust myself, but whether other people trust me is up for them to decide. But also, we've tried to include a couple of community members. There's a couple of core members in there, but there will probably be removed after a couple of periods, or maybe they'll get removed one at a time.
Yeah,
So
let's go through it, if you don't mind. Because I was thinking, hey, someone will raise, because I think it's only you that is validator. There's Rarma, who is not validator. There is Max, who is community manager for Discord and Telegram, and I guess other channels as well. Who would be the other validator? I think it's only you.
or maybe it's
So
only me.
I was
So,
so I
I
was
mean,
thinking,
in
like,
that scenario, then there's no way I have enough power or influence over that group of people
yeah.
to be able to sway it all in my favor anyway. So I don't think it's a massive issue.
And was it your idea, because it's your post on the Commonwealth?
No, like I've been talking to Dimmy
Mm-hmm.
and the core group for a long time about starting a delegations DAO.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just more that I had time to do the proposal is why it's up there for
Yeah,
me.
yeah. and and I tell you, this is like, so I must say, like, really, really good job. I know some people will be, I think Jacob must be sick now.
Hey,
uh I think Jacob Gadikan might be suffering right now seeing this proposal,
why is that?
for the certain obvious. There is the guy who Jacob seems to dislike.
Oh,
Um,
Cyborg?
and I actually think it's such an amazing addition, and I'd love to tell you why. Like, so, I had the problem that Juno community is so closed and doesn't really allow from everyone from outside, right? And Tyborg, like, for those who don't know, he works as the ICF. He seems to be hardworking guy. That's all I know about him. And I think having this kind of link to the ICF and the Cosmos is such a net benefit for Juno, because it legitimizes them as the partners of the Cosmos ecosystem. Like, and this would come out only as the good thing. Um, yeah, like, I actually love that. So, like, it is like, because Juno was picking up wars with the Cosmos. So I'm actually, like, also surprised that he agreed on that. So we have Tyborg, and for, like, I saw someone was raising the issue, and I was like, expecting that. So someone says, like, why Tyborg is on the list, which is quite common for Juno. They see, like, you know the people really try to find, like, hey, this guy is bad, it's ICF, right? But, like, I think it's amazing. Like, so not sure if that was your idea.
So,
Joshua Khan.
well, I
Mhm.
invited Cyborg
Yeah.
because you know people people are going to have their problems with other people, but I don't think that should
Mhm.
affect our mission as the delegation SubDAO. And Cyborg's always been quite interested in assessment of validators and trying to like communicate to the community the value of validators and their contributions. So I figured he was already interested in it. He seems like a very considerate guy, and yeah, I talked to him for a little bit, and then we just decided to invite him. So
Um, Sorry for asking. Was my audio okay? Because I just noticed my audio was at the default, probably from the my MacBook instead of from the microphone, which should be better right now.
yeah, it's fine.
Um, and it was fine through all the conversation. It upset me so much when I go, like, through the live chat, and then I realize, shit, last time I did that. So I do hope that there was maybe not echo, and so I just check that and connect the mic. So Max, can he do that? You think is it a good move for the Max? I think it's another, and he's already busy. But I like Max. He's a nice guy.
I personally think Max needs to spend more time now doing things like this and less time doing,
Hmm.
Juno chat and stuff like that. I think we should start looking at onboarding more resources for helping manage community channels. And Max has proven himself to be quite good at diplomacy and talking to people and understanding things and digging into stuff. So I think he's well suited for it. Whether or not he's got the capacity for it, I don't know. And if he doesn't, I would suggest that the way we manage that is to lighten his load elsewhere.
Yeah, and Joshua Tan. So I think this is quite a new name, but I actually saw Joshua in Validator Commons. I think he's scholar, no?
So
And
I
I
don't.
think this is another very very interesting addition. So I mean, if you would like to add something, like, was it your idea? How, like, and you see, like, so let's check, let's review it, because I don't think anyone would do due diligence. So he's masters in mathematics and computer science. What's the DP hill? It's DP.
I don't
What does it
know.
mean? Like, it's so some publications, but, like, do you know something more about Joshua, and, like, why the
So
decision to include him? Was it your idea?
I didn't recruit Joshua,
Mm-hmm.
and I haven't
Yeah,
looked in too much about him yet. So
right.
yeah, he was a recent addition. So I do
Yeah,
feel
and
that.
I'd love that. I'd love to see that, because I saw him in, like, maybe Daniel. I think he's close with Daniel, right? I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
So then
I
is
think it was Timmy
you.
who brought him on, or maybe Jake.
All right, like, they both, like, because they both in Validator Commons. Daniel, Dimi, and Joshua is in part of the Validator Commons. So I would make the connection here. So there is you. So I assume you will receive the largest delegations of this distribution here. So I'm gonna. There is Demi, Jake, and there is Daniel. So I think this is also great addition. Was it all your idea, or?
So Dan, I think might have been Dimmy's idea again, because they work
Mm-hmm.
quite well. They used to work quite closely,
Yeah.
together at
Yeah.
Steakfish. So, and we've had him on Game of Nodes before, and I quite like Dan.
Yeah.
And he's a professional. He
Yeah.
should be methodical. So just
Yeah.
on me again, sort of skim past me in the list, but like I'm process orientated and methodical. So the thing I think I can bring to the DAO, and the dishing out of the
Mm-hmm.
delegations, is I would like to see proper process put into actually doing calculation and
Mm-hmm.
assessment of the validators, not just like anything that can be considered to be on a whim or friends or anything like that, and provable and transparent if people want to be able
Mm-hmm.
to see it. So I think criteria need to be established, and um, you know point systems need to be applied to the criteria, and then people need to fit into what those point systems represent, and that's the way that it would get calculated and then totaled up and then distributed. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's important, and so that's what I would like to help steer the SubDAO into. And of course, a lot of those people in there are well suited to be able to help determine what those criteria would be and how they should be
Mm-hmm.
weighted in terms of against other criteria. So
So sorry, help me understand that, because in the Commonwealth link, I wonder if this is correct. Because this is the delegation SubDAO, so that will be core developer fund.
yeah,
And the link that the here note the address of the Juno governance module and community pool is this one. But
Yeah.
this is
So
community pool.
yeah,
Is
yeah.
it
So
wrong one?
the Juno governance. So the Juno community pool owns the SubDAOs, and they can delete them. But the purpose of the DAO is to delegate the
This one.
yeah, yeah, or a
Yeah.
portion of it. So the purpose of the Hack Juno SubDAO was to dish out the rewards for Hack Juno. So just because they're instantiated by the community pool doesn't necessarily mean that they need to use the community pool's funds or control community pool's funds. So that's why
So
it's said in there that it is the developer funds, developer pool funds, or developer fund funds.
so you only be responsible for the delegations, or it also will be for investments, rewarding contributions, and stuff like this, right? Because that's what this fund is for, right? Like,
No, our only purview for this SubDAO and our only power will be to delegate. So
right.
will be our multi-sig will be given the power through auths or authc, and we won't be able to do anything but delegate and redelegate and undelegate.
Right. So any plan how to do it fairly? Was there like, I mean, what's the points that you would like to include? You will be working on the paper. Does this will include, the size of the current delegation as well?
So the current delegations won't be considered at all. It'll be a fresh slate. And so, if someone has a delegation that's, I don't know, 150,000 Juno, and they
Yeah.
don't meet the criteria that equals 150,000 Juno, they'll probably lose some delegation. But what the criteria will be and what the weightings will be is yet to be determined.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. We can.
I mean, there's the delegations handbook at the moment, but we intend to start from a clean slate and
Yeah.
develop.
It's this one, right?
Yeah, so we want to start from a clean slate and determine what the criteria should be, and the criteria should be a moving target as well, because you might make criteria that incentivize people to do things that eventually you don't want. So it needs to be a moving target. It needs to grow with the network, and we need to encourage the types of behavior that we want to see on the network,
Yeah.
not just necessarily the de facto behaviors that people say are important, but
Yeah.
aren't necessarily. Like, for example, we don't need 150 relayers, right? So
Yeah.
I think I talked about this not long ago on a Spaces with, it might have been Tricky or something like that, but you have to be thoughtful when you're creating your criteria in making sure that it gets the criteria weighting gets diluted as more and more people pile into it. So then it becomes not worth doing. So you don't just want everybody ticking a box, right? You want good operators. You want to reward the good operators, who do the thing you want, but not everybody
Yeah.
do the thing you want. So you want to get the best of the group that's doing it, but you don't want everybody doing it. So it's a tricky ball game, and it takes some thought. It shouldn't just be, blunderbuss, pick everything. So
Yeah. Will you guys get paid for running this SubDAO?
there's no proposal to pay us at the moment, and I don't know
Uh-huh.
if we ever will be or how that'll be worked out. We could be, I don't know, but it's
Yeah.
not. It's not part of the proposal at this time.
Yeah. So in the current handbook, right? Like, it's so the last point, it says a validator that is white labeled operates a revenue split or is not run wholly by the team applying for the delegation. Do you think this point is going to stay? Because I think with this definition, I would be non-eligible for the delegation, and I would like to receive the delegation. because I would say like I'm very valuable member of the community, and I suffered greatly from uh, being ignored by the core teams, receiving zero contributions for my efforts. So I wonder if this still is gonna exclude me, because so I do content. It's quite difficult to like be benefiter of anything doing this. um well, I don't want to make it about myself. I just saw this point, right? So but my node is run by the other person who has also the node in the active set of Juno, which I understand this problem, but this
So
was kind of way for
let me put it this way, right? I like you. You're a nice guy, right? I like what you do. But at the end of the day, it's not me who's going to be making the decision. It's something that would have to arrive at a group and people put forward their thoughts on why either way. And again, it comes down to the types of behavior that you want to encourage. So
yeah.
do we want to encourage anybody with a YouTube channel to pay someone to run their nodes and potentially have a lot of nodes run by one person? And that's something that we need to think about and put thought to. So, put it this. So maybe you white label a node, right? But maybe you also pay that same white labeler to run relays for you, and maybe you pay him to build something that helps people. It's not necessarily one aspect. So we just need to consider that holistically and just determine what we want to encourage.
Yeah, like if that would be like if that would exclude me, Soy says like I actually exchanged the Soy if something would like exclude me from this, because I know Soy wants to be the validator, then I could try to like switch
So I
switch
mean,
this.
it depends on
Yeah.
okay, so there's teams, right? So I guess what we want to try and discourage is white labeling in that wording there, right? But you can have teams. Like say if you and Soy were a team, he runs the validator, you run the social and the whatever other part of that team there are, and you split the revenue, right? Then that's basically you've formed a company between yourselves, and you formed an entity between yourselves, and you're no longer acting as a white label. So,
Yeah. So I could also do this with the with the current guy, right? Like because it's like I can easily form hold the company, and just invite him as the part of the company, because what I want to see, like like the guy who runs for me, he has his thing, and then me and him I want to consider as the separate thing, but it is seen as the white label, I guess. But this is like I don't know how to do. Avi says, Don, if making content, I like making content. That's the point. This is, I think, like I'm pretty okay at this, maybe pretty good at this. Just running nodes is not fun for me. Like, I mean, and I don't really want to take money from projects. It's
there's
like,
nothing to stop you partnering with someone. So, that's exactly what, like Avi says. Friends and Cedo did the same thing. They're not node people. They're not node runners. They had a
yeah,
platform. They recognized that they could onboard users to their brand through their platform. And then so they
yeah,
partnered with tech guys to do the node side. And then they,
yeah,
I mean, they're still really involved with the ecosystem and they're not damaging it in any way. So, but, they didn't just go out and pay someone like All Nodes or something to just white label all their nodes. So
yeah.
they've got a team. They're
Yeah.
contactable.
I
They're
actually,
not faceless. You can contact their team. So
yeah, of course, like, but you have to be like in financial position, to do it. Like, I mean, I'm not sure how Sito started. If he started as the white label and then grew and then like decided, okay, we
no,
can form the
I think he
company.
met some guys potentially at one of the conferences or something and went on from there. But
Right.
So it's in any venture there's risk, right? So you if it's something you want to do and you think that you can be a big benefit from it in the future, you have to take the risk and risk your capital to make it into something, right? But I mean, the risk is small. If say if you find a DevOps guy that wants to do it with you, if you only have 1 or 2 nodes, that's something that your DevOps guy can basically start part time, right, and work with you part time while you're doing your side of things. He does his side of things. You split the revenue. It's not necessarily a lot of financial risk. Most people rent their servers. They're not massively expensive.
Do you run it as the company?
I'm a registered company, yeah.
In Australia, or
yeah.
did you choose other place?
PTY Ltd, yeah. We pay tax.
High taxes, yeah.
We have accountants and all that shit.
Avi says like you and crypto like more. I don't like crypto like more. He blocked me before, and now he ended. I don't really do the same stuff that crypto like more. I can openly say I never did any paid partnership with absolutely anyone, and I don't really like plan on the shilling. So like
it was a joke.
Just want to like I really never I really never do that, you know. Yeah.
Plus, I mean, like crypto like Mo doesn't run his own nodes anyway, so
yeah.
Is whiskey from Australia?
Sorry?
Is whiskey from Australia?
Whiskey, where are you from?
I have no admin. I can't make the messages come up.
Come in.
Anyone who likes their own comments is a joke. What does that even mean, man? Oh, right. Crypto like Mo. Does he like?
Yeah, crypto like Mo was like in his own post, but today he left a tweet about like developers making 500k, validators making like 30k or something, and then he said, but then marketers are vilified for making 4 to 5 digits, and I'm like, what? You make 4 to 5 digits? I'm like, what? I'm not on 4 digits, including the validation. I'm like, you know, so like, I think there is money in the shilling actually. But
he makes 5 digits shilling shit. Is that what you just said?
It looks like, yeah. Maybe 4 digits plus validations, but yeah, like I'm surprised because he doesn't have such a, you know. New Zealand. I'd love to see New Zealand.
I mean, every like, you know, everyone's got their thing, Don. Like, if that's what he likes doing, then he can do it. I'm sure some people probably enjoy it. Other people probably don't. Maybe he likes arguing with people who don't. You don't know people's motivations. And if he can make money doing it, well, at least he's out not murdering people, right?
Yeah, I guess everyone has niche. I want to say of the current delegations, you know, the Deus Labs has the largest, and I want to give shout out because these guys are amazing. Deus Labs. Not sure if you had interaction with them, but they build Juno tools.
Yeah.
They building tooling for Stargaze, which is unrelated. I know they plan to do something more on Juno. So Deus Labs, and he's technical guy who is able to communicate to non-technical people. There's Crab Shack, who is the Juno SwapDex, Notional. Everyone knows Jacob. Jabby, I guess he also contribute. Elshow, the core contributor of DAO. Highlander. What Highlander does. Community, chain tools, essentially, like on the Needlecast, which is decentralized name service, and how crypto crew validators.
Is a massive contributor to the code base.
Yeah, such a nerd, right? Like he's. I didn't know the first time like I approached him, but he's such a nerd. This pair, so there's some good names there. But the first one is of course are most contributing. So
yeah, I saw you kept scrolling there and you never got to me.
Sorry. There's I think it's unfair because I think there's one really great contributor. I thought he should be on the first one. So crypto crew validators are considered to be better than you, cross-test considered to be better than you, blockchain, community staking considered to be better than you, Vitval. Is Vitval contributing? I think they contribute to Cosmos, but Lavender, your friend, higher than you. It seems everyone, Oni higher than you, but that's obvious. Oni contributes way more than you. Stake Lab way higher than you. Space Potato, Brun Bro. Ooh boy.
Keep going.
Cyber G, way more than you. STC Capital, everyone knows STC Capital. Great contributor. Rhino, ooh, you are the lowest, man, in the game of nodes. Where are we?
Page 8.
Golden Ratio Staking, Stranger of Omniflix, way larger contributor to Juno. Earth Plus. Earth Plus is DAO, by the way, if someone wonder. Like Case, co-founder of DAO.
Case does a lot of work on DAO. Yeah.
I heard she's like a genius. I heard like only good words about her. Wait a second. Sorry, slow internet. So, oh, you are here. 62,000, man. Still more than my total stake I have.
So if you look back in that criteria, it says that anyone in the top 10 is excluded, and I was in the top 10 for like 3 of those rounds, and so I was excluded from all of them. So the only I had a small delegation from when the network started, and then I had another small bump recently. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
But the question is like we test.io, which is like for sure like Tezos guys. Like, come on. Like they they mainly focus on Tezos. I'm hard to say they're like contributors. Maybe they do something more, right? Like, but yeah.
Well, like, this is part of the reason why we're putting people in who have got the time to make informed decisions and develop criteria. So we'll work out a better system and we'll make it more equitable.
Yeah. You're still rich, right? So
well, of course.
No wonder you wanted this panel, man. Like I mean, you have like how much you will delegate to yourself from this multi-sig? What's the plan?
I mean, ask anybody, of course, all of it. Just
are we shooting for spot number 1?
Yeah, the new who's in number 1? Whatever. But
Cosmos Station?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know who's up the top. Not me.
No.
But yeah, man. I mean, it is what it is. I'd like to say to everyone, you can trust me. I'm not gonna like pump my own validator in there, but vote how you want to vote.
I trust you. I think you can do it fairly. I think you can do it like, like I mean, you seem like honest guy. I think you would like, it's easy to see your position. I don't know how much you contribute, but as the validator, you've been here. You are part of the conversation. Maybe not the largest delegation, but like solid chunk somewhere in the middle, right? That would be like totally viewed by like everyone as totally fine. Yeah. But I don't think you make the decision there, right? So
no, I'm one of 9.
Yeah, of 8 people, 9.
But I like to think that people can recognize that I'm pretty transparent and that I'm not a dick. So but I'm obviously opinionated as well, and anyone who watches Game of Nodes knows that I've got my own pet peeves and I've got my own point of view on things. So not necessarily aligned with everybody else either. But I am fair and I am methodical. So
Yeah. Who you think as the the person number 9? Do you have any candidate?
I haven't put too much thought to it because I don't want to choose someone else from my book. You know what I mean? I want people to, because that's that's part of the problem, right? So if I picked everybody for the DAO,
okay, come in.
If I went and picked everybody, then it'll just be all my friends, right? Because it'll just be people I know.
Yeah.
So that's why we've tried to have like at least a couple of degrees of separation between, you know, I'll pick a guy that I think and present him to the team, and then someone else picks a guy and presents them to the team. Do we agree? Yeah, we think that guy might be right. But we've specifically left out the 9th spot for community suggestions so that it's disconnected from the rest of us.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a good chance if they are a community contributor that we probably do know them and have interacted with them in the past, but at least it's an opportunity for people to have their say of who they want in there. And of course, anyone can have their say about the people who are in the list as well if they don't think that anyone in the list is like appropriately qualified, or they think someone's, you know, a prick. They can raise that up and see if other people support that same opinion. That's how this whole ship's supposed to go. So and like, you know, I would just encourage people, just because they're the people on the list, don't necessarily settle for them. If you disagree with any of them, raise your concern.
Like you can say like you don't think they're a good member, and like they, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you know something not everybody else knows, raise it and say, no, this guy's, you know, burns kittens in their backyard or whatever.
I mean, I'm still trying to learn why the Rarma called me HIV, or boyfriend of the HIV. Do you want to meet my wife?
Hello, wife.
I'm not a cat.
She's trying to get the cat.
She went to get a cat before. She was away and she just came back.
So you have someone now back in the household who can communicate with your mother-in-law?
My wife. But my mother-in-law, she just come in the evening to chill on the like massage chair and watch TV.
Oh, you have a massage chair?
Yeah, didn't you see? It's amazing.
Oh,
and so good.
Figures.
Yeah. Yeah, and I have the one for the feet. You put the feet inside and it massages your feet.
Yeah, like a wet one or like a leather one that sort of, you know, is it like, is it water inside? Does it vibrate your feet, or is it like?
It's no, it's like
it's like putting shoes on that, like, you know, yeah.
It's like, pressure, put pressure, you know, like the massage, the Hong Kong people love massage. So the massage chair is really, I guess, important feature here.
Yeah, paid for by your five-figure influencer salary, of course. Thanks,
my wife. I live at the expense of my wife, you know. So
thanks, Avi. We're stoked to see what comes out of the all of the DAOs, really, but yeah, definitely the delegation DAO. There's a lot of networks with funds that delegate, you know, to the validators, and I think a lot of them need improvement. I know a lot of stink was kicked up recently about the way that the, you know, Atom Foundation was doing their delegations, and they were a bit negligent, and, you know, enough people kicked up a stink that they've changed the way they do theirs as well. I don't think it's the best system in terms of categories that they've got, or, you know, limitations on categories that don't exist, but at least it's a start, and it's a lot better than what they had.
Yeah, I don't think it was like, I mean, it's good they changing it, but like I think ICF just big organization. Did you see I want to be in the organization like this. Did you see they're like on some nice holiday right now?
Are they? I want a nice holiday.
Wow.
Will you come and take me away?
I want to have something like this for Juno. You know,
are you
like
looking for
we could fly and like just Let me. I don't know. Is it okay to share it? Like,
You tell me.
let's share Yelena. I mean, let's see. Look, they like. Is there?
Where is this?
It's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Look, we need something like this.
So what is this? Interchain Foundation or something?
Yeah, that's the good working environment.
What are all these guys' jobs?
Just going discussing this. They discuss how to delegate. Drinking champagne, prosecco, right?
Yeah. Do you think we can go on some delegation workshops like that? Do you think the community pool will pay?
Yeah, like I'd love that. Like it's like, let's delegate 100K to this one. It's like, I mean, let's become this like champagne socialists, you know?
Maybe we can delegate to like some of the bigger validators that have got, hacker house mansions or something on the beach.
Yeah, but we should have this sort of retreats, like, because we should like do this like and sell to the community pool that validators have really stressful jobs.
So you think the community pool should buy a vacation house for validators? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like it's like, so the community pool is like 100 million. Come on, like spending like, come on, 5% of this on like nice villa for validator house, like retreats, like with plenty bedrooms, like common room where you can go, like where is the bar, pool, access to the beach, forest nearby, bicycles to do, like very stressful. You just need to sell them like that. You live among the nodes at your home and they are very noisy, it stresses you, and you need the retreat away from technology. You think could be
Sounds
done
nice.
via
Sounds nice. Can you organize it and just give me an invite? I'll come.
Yeah, like I mean, like we could do it, the community pool, but no access for the community members, only validators.
Do you think like, yeah, of course. Do you think like a beach retreat type shack situation, nice and relaxing, or do you think like metropolitan penthouse technology cyberpunk type situation?
I'm saying, why not both?
Yeah, why not? I mean, $100 million is a lot of money. You can buy a lot of vacation houses for
No, one should be retreat, but where? Like, Bali. No, you don't like Bali, right? Is but some
I don't not like it. I just have been there a couple of times and would choose to go elsewhere.
I did really like it, but any other place you would recommend? But like, let's somewhere where is good access to like yoga retreats.
Why not just
from
buy
your
an island and
terrace,
build your own yogi retreat? There's 150 validators, so
well, that could be maybe a little bit more than 5% of community pool, but I mean, for 20 million, we could make it happen, right?
Aussies love Bali, so
yeah, a lot of them there.
Bali is close to the west coast of Australia, where there's a lot of mining workers love to go there because it's close and it's cheap. Thailand's beautiful. I used to work over on the west coast of Australia, and I quite often would go to KL and Bali. But I only went to Bali because my friends surfed, and I would used to just go hang in the villa and drink beer. I can't surf.
the major Juno alcoholic, yeah. So maybe you could find us good retreat. I wonder what should be there. Like on one side should be the view at the beach, but quiet one, not with the common tourists. Like just it needs to be private one.
Did Steak Like Mo follow? Didn't he? Wasn't he after one?
I don't know. Maybe.
I'm sure
we need bigger.
Wasn't he telling? I'm sure he's on Twitter saying that he'll pay Evmos for tips on good locations, right? Wasn't that? Maybe I was wrong.
Yeah, like he promised many things, but like let's see what we have, right?
Sorry, too. Where do you live
Definitely
again?
too small.
You're not going to fit 150 validators in there. You need to type in mansion.
No,
Mansion? No, not
bigger,
villa, man.
bigger,
Mansion.
bigger. Okay.
Amazing Thailand mansion. Large mansion in Thailand.
this is what us validators do. Just let's see how we can do some good for the community, right? So what we no, these are still too small. Maybe we can buy two, so we can have like massive pool here, right? Few houses. On the other side, we could have like view maybe on the the rice fields. Oh, this one is not bad.
Where it's like a
Look,
little.
it
There's
even
like a little
has
nook
it
for
has
every
even
validator. Yeah, it's got the DAO
and
DAO.
it has DAO logo.
Yeah.
That's what we do. Maybe pool a little too small in comparison to. I mean, we should have also like tennis courts, basketball courts, so we can like let the anger, let the steam off.
Monsoon Villa. Type in Monsoon Villa. See if it's on the internet.
mm,
It was used on MTV.
it's in Thailand.
Villa. Villa. Oh, not sure where it is. Villa
No, it doesn't
Monsoon.
really. I think it's this one, but it's like just the pictures maybe not great. But I like the DAO thing, you know.
Yeah, it was nice.
Um,
Pre-built.
yeah, I think we could sell it, especially like I mean sell the idea because of the DAO logo, and
What is it?
we should have like yeah.
Oh, I saw 9 million on the screen there somewhere. I was like, is that only 9 million?
Let's see. This is the luxury housing. Bro, this is in Hong Kong dollars here.
Is that just for one
change
night?
Hong Kong. No, it's for sale. Like, but yeah,
How many Hong Kong
like,
dollars can I get for one Kanga buck?
8 million Hong Kong dollar would be 1 million US dollar. Like 7.8 Hong Kong dollars, 1 US. So let's sort via largest, biggest living area. Oh, there is island.
Hey, now we're talking.
There we are. Now we're talking. And look, this one is only like 3 million US dollars, 11 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms. Come on.
Why is there only 6 bathrooms? Do you have to share?
Oh wow. These look amazing, but two little bathrooms. Yeah, like that. I don't want to share.
No, I don't want to share.
24 bedrooms. Nice one. Do you think you could relax there from your stressful life?
Does it have good internet?
Not.
I need to be able to log into my SSH terminal.
Look, we could have like one house, like would be like a spa room, and there would be like massage.
What about
like here we could relax.
What about like a LAN room with all the computers in there for gaming and node maintenance?
Yeah, one would be gym. Okay, tennis court. Not bad.
Yeah, I mean,
it's pitch idea.
It's okay. It's okay, I suppose. If you had to.
Let's. I want like large Buddha there, so I can feel spiritual. Because there is kind of like the more successful you get, and like wealthier, you have to become more spiritual as well at the same time. Like it seems like. Oh, the Villa Mansion.
Yeah, you found it. Yeah.
Yeah, but Yeah, I think we can manage get the nice house. I mean, like I can stay poor as long as I can be in this beautiful place.
Poor and
Okay,
happy.
yeah, I come on, like, and free massage, free coffee, free food, free drinks.
You're talking my language, man.
How about the happy massage should be included?
I need to get. Can't afford happy massage
Con-
until I get Evmos delegation.
That's the controversial one, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Non-politically correct, but come on, little happy massage never killed anyone. I
Really?
think.
Their wife did afterwards, though.
So I had I will end on one bad
Harvey
story
said,
from
Harvey don't think that happy massage is within the purview of the SubDAO rules.
I was in Cambodia with a friend, and there was a massage, and it was $9 massage. So I was like, oh, I want massage, but we two young guys, and I hope, because I really wanted regular massage, right? I was already with my girlfriend. So they took us to the room upstairs, and I go there. They ask to take off clothes, and there's three ladies coming and start massaging me. And when the things go in, I was like, oh, no, 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 and it was very awkward because I was lying there naked, arguing with like three ladies that I don't want this, I want to finish it, and they got very angry, and I left.
Jeez.
Very awkward. Yeah.
I went
I
to
don't know if
a massage
Mhm.
in Tokyo, and there was no such offer.
No, I'm not into happy massage at all. Like I like good solid massage. So that was like a very awkward situation because I wanted regular massage and I couldn't get this, and it was very awkward. But
Well,
it's not the first time I was in the awkward situation.
I came out requiring a wheelchair, basically. They are quite deep massages in Japan.
I um I had one in the island of Ishigaki, was very good. I love Japan. They have very good pudding, good steaks, great
Man, I
place,
just
right?
love ramen's my favorite, man. I love ramen. I love
Ooh,
going in there and getting the hottest ramen they've got and just seeing if I can deal with it. It's great.
Come to Hong Kong. Plenty of good ramen. So
I've been to Hong Kong a few times, and I love the barbecue there, man. It's so good. Love it. There's nothing else I can say. I'd go there just to get barbecue.
barbecue is more like Korean thing, I would say.
I don't care what kind
Oh,
of thing it is.
yeah.
It's delicious.
Yeah. No, plenty good food. I'm making steaks for me and my wife today.
I mean, that's all there is to do in Hong Kong. When I went there, is just walk around and drink and eat.
And eat. Yeah. Well, come, like when you get better, I take you for hiking because it has really like amazing spots, and I would say it has one of the amazing, like the best beaches. I don't know, like the problem how I pronounce beaches is always troublesome for me. Like the place you go to relax, right?
We have great beaches.
We have great beaches.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Put your sand. Lots of sand. Put your feet in it.
Yeah.
Relax.
Huge. And many people do not know this, but so beautiful. Now it's a little too hot and steamy to do this, but like Hong Kong is just the urban area is like 25%. Rest is the mountains and coast.
So I've been to like
when you come next time,
I've been to the Big Buddha down there, like towards the airport. We went for a walk around there. It was nice. Yeah, I haven't been like hiking around there though. Probably should do that one day.
Yeah, like it's great. I showed you some pictures, but maybe it's like you can go like really great hiking, then go down to the beach, swim. There's still some surfing, but there is like no waves. I can't really surf. I did try.
Yeah, surfing's hard. You got to start when you're a kid.
Yeah, but the feeling like once you stand on the board is so beautiful. You know, the wind and
You get the
feel of
same
freedom.
sensation skydiving?
I haven't done it. Have you?
You should do it. I used to do solo skydiving, like
Wow.
when I lived over in WA. It's pretty fun.
I don't want to die. You know, like what if the parachute doesn't open?
Then you got a second one. Statistically speaking, they've got a very little
just
chance
the
of
reliance.
not opening.
Yeah, it's like I mean.
So the thing about skydiving is if your first parachute, there's something wrong with it, right? Then you have to make the decision whether to try and land a faulty parachute or whether you cut away and pop your spare or your reserve and risk it not working as well.
Yeah. My wife wanted to do some skydiving in Cairns in Australia, I think. I was like, nah, too early, don't want to go. But the truth is I was scared.
Oh yeah.
So we didn't do.
Avi,
Yeah.
it's a big like change in sensation between being tandem and solo. Like when you're in control of the situation, it's like just a completely different feeling. I can't explain it. It's magical. Falling through the sky is just invigorating. I don't know why.
Feeling like you're gonna die very soon, right?
I mean, I never felt like I was gonna die. I just hoped that all my shit worked.
I like all that.
The scariest jump you do is the first jump you do after your first chute pack. Like when you pack your own chute the first time and then go jump out of the plane with it.
Yeah, like I wouldn't trust myself. It's not really. I'm not scared of like cliff jumping or anything like this, where I know there is like no risk of dying. But when you add the factor of the risk of dying, like parachute no opening, let's not go there.
I do a little bit.
But I will try. I will try. I have to do it.
I do a little bit of recreational flying as well, and
yeah.
The first time you fly by yourself is also incredibly scary because they're like
the little plane. You do the little plane.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. My wife wanted to do the pilot license and she cannot really push herself to do.
It's a lot of studying and a lot of work.
Yeah.
But it's worth it if if you've got the money to pay for the instructor time. But man, it's just an awesome feeling, like when you land the plane the first time and you're not dead.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Will you fly me one day?
Potentially, yeah.
If I come Australia, like we rent a plane and just such a romantic way of dying, story.
You likely
I met the Null on the internet
because I'm not current. So if I'm current and you visit, I have to go do some flying. I haven't flown in a couple of years just because I've been super busy.
Right.
But if I can go back and get current again and get signed off for passengers, if you come and I've got that, talk before you come. And if I've got it, I'll go hire a plane. I'll take you for a flight.
Sure.
But it's
maybe one day.
They're little 2-seaters, man, and they are. I mean, even worse was the first time when I did my first nav, which is where you go and actually fly away from the airport.
Yeah.
And they're like, you've got a piece of paper with a map on it. You don't have like any other navigational shit. And they're just So you've got a pen and like your flight, there's manual flight computer thing and a piece of paper, and you just plot your course as you're flying, and then you have to get back and land the plane at the airport. And you're just like
it sounds more dangerous than the parachute. It's not very convincing.
No, but it's I mean it is. It's just, but once you get there and you get back, it's just like the best feeling in the world, because it's like, yeah, I did it, and also it's just a massive relief that you made it back.
and feeling alive. That's the like, wow, I'm here. Okay. Look, I'm gonna go to spend some time chatting to my wife.
Sure. Thanks
No,
for having me, man. It's a good chat.
It was pleasure. Very, 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 very enjoyed our chat. And I think people did too. There was a few people, and I will share it. I think we also discussed some cool points about the SubDAO. So like, yeah, thank you for your time. Always pleasure chatting to you, and enjoy your evening.
Thank you. Everybody enjoy their evenings, and I'll catch up with you later, man.
Yeah. Take care.